and welcome to Daisies and Dragons, the best damn TTRPG show on planet Earth. And welcome back to Cup of Sorrow, a homebrew Call of Cthulhu mini campaign set in early 20th century Assam under British colonial rule. My name is Rajib Kalita, pronounced he, him, and I shall humbly serve as your keeper of arcane lore. My hair has grown a little bit since last time. Unfortunately, it doesn't cover the bald spot up top. I've got this scraggly beard still, and I'm wearing a white t-shirt. So that's me. I also have with me this fantastic group of players who I will now ask to introduce themselves, starting with right next to me on my
I'm
screen,
always the
Alika.
first one to go. Anyway, hello everyone. I'm Alika. Pronoun she, her, but you can use whatever. I don't care. My handle is Cape Fox Alex at Cape Fox Alex on Twitter and Instagram. I will be playing Biswanath Bhattacharya, the eager beaver, professor, uncle. I don't know what was his epithet, something like that. It was great. Dr.
We'll find
Professor
out soon.
Uncle, yes, the botanist who is definitely not aware of what humans taste like at all. Somehow.
We'll come to that as
Anyways,
well.
he's also sporting a spiffy pair of green glasses. Actually, that's just me. I don't know if he's got green lenses on his glasses. And a very cool looking bundle. Hello. That's it. That's me. I'm done.
Awesome. All right, going next to Chao.
Hello, I am Chao Noi, pronouns they, them. I am playing this character called Nong Khun. They are a journalist, short on luck. I am currently wearing a sort of a lavender kurta with flowers and triangles on it. And yeah, I wear spectacles. That's primarily it, I guess. Don't find me online too.
Amazing. Next we have Val.
Hi everyone, I'm Valiant Dorian. I use him, his pronouns. You can find me on the internet at Valiant Dorian or at Also Spirit Bear. Please enjoy that lovely treasure hunt I just sent you on. And tonight I have the distinct pleasure of playing But your friend. He's also a gangster, but he's also your friend. I am a trans-masked Daisy man. I've got a attempt to grow a beard. We're trying, we're really working on it. Short hair. And I'm currently wearing the Critical Role Don't Forget to Love Each Other Pride t-shirt. It's black in color with rainbow colors on it at the bottom. You can't see that. Yeah, that's me.
Right. And finally, we have Poorna.
Hi everyone, my name is Poorna. You can find me on the internet at Poorna Mazumdar. I use she/her pronouns, and today I will be playing Bani. And she has some stuff going on, not gonna lie, which you will find out soon.
Indeed, we will find out soon. Because we are on episode 2 of our little mini campaign, which means a brief recap of all that happened the last time. So, our intrepid group of would-be investigators happened to be in and around the Bornodi tea estate as we began. They were either coaxed or coerced from their respective locations to the bungalow of the owner, a fine British gentleman by the name of Alika Lingston, and were asked to investigate the disappearance of his beloved daughter, Mabel. They learned more about his household situation. They found out that his nephew, Edwin, has also been missing for about 3 months. They were taken to Mabel's room and left there to investigate. There was not much there that would elicit suspicion. The windows were still locked. There was no signs of struggle. There was a missing tentacle toy called Mr. Snuggles, and also some traces of ash on the floor, which Professor Bhattacharya, the esteemed scientist that he is, deduced was, in fact, human remains, burnt human remains, through, of course, using the proven scientific method of licking it. There was some speculation, some hypothesis as to what could have gone down, but of course, all of that was interrupted by what was ostensibly a supernatural phenomenon. Something moved past them and into the hall. Something that dimmed the lights and crackled with tendrils of static electricity. it moved into Edwin's room, which was forbidden by decree of the Bara Sahib, and then disappeared, leaving our investigators in a bit of a tizzy. While most of them somehow rationalized the incident, their minds still closed off to the possibility of such supernatural occurrences. It was perhaps a bit much for Bani. We will come to that, but to give you just to recap as to where you are right now. So you are somewhere in this area right now, which is outside of Mabel's room, which is this. So it is this large, high-ceilinged house full of expensive paintings and art pieces, collectibles on display. Where you stand, you see a cliff that just drops off, affording a spectacular vista of rolling hills that are covered with this blanket of tea plantations. There's a thin bluish mist that covers everything. The rain has stopped for now, but you know that it is only a matter of time before a drizzle starts up again. There's soft music playing from a gramophone somewhere. It's just wafting in. And despite the strong smell of fresh leaves in the air, you get a hint of mildew and decay in the background. So, with you situated there, Bani, you, like all of you, try to deal in your minds with what you just witnessed in your own way. You, however, felt it a bit too much to handle, which is why you end up taking 2 points of sanity damage. Basically, your sanity score is reduced. I mean, it was already not great to begin with, and now it is reduced by 2. Also, you do take that amount of damage to your sanity. So, what happens? How do you react?
So, Bani is kind of looking around herself, like she feels like this presence, when this feeling of like somebody's watching you, except none of the others are looking at Bani, so she's sort of just shivering a little bit, even though it's not particularly cold, and starts just looking around her way more than one might normally do.
So if the rest of you, if you happen to look at Bani, you do see that there is a distinct change in her demeanor. And of course, you also saw something that was strange, something that was weird. So how do the rest of you react to that?
I think Bharat is, I would describe him as the type of character who is not necessarily beholden to like spiritual or superstitious stuff, but because of the culture that he is raised in, is still not gonna mess with things too much or undermine it for fear of retaliation. You know better than to disrespect it, right? You better say it's
Just
right.
sorry. Yeah.
So I think Bharat would his instinct is to go and take a look for everyone's sanity, because if we can clear out that it was just something that was weird that we saw, that's fine. We can calm everyone down. I think he catches Bonnie's like, I think while she's panning around in a paranoid manner, like catches it and like kind of like furrows his brows over at her, and so just says, "Bunny, okay?"
Yes. Yes. Did you hear something? Down the corridor. You should go check.
Bharat nods and he's like, I think I
Exactly.
heard something.
I really admire how you do your duty and protect all of us. It's so admirable. I cannot even. Let's go check. I swear, can you hear that?
It was just thunder.
What?
I think it was just thunder, wasn't it?
I don't hear anything. I mean, we saw that though. We saw some electricity go by, but that could. Listen, I've heard of this phenomenon. It's called ball lightning, and it's a little rare, but it's nothing to be worried about. It's just a little bit of lightning which goes, usually it happens up in the sky. I'm not sure why it's happening so low down to the ground. It could happen.
But listen, some strange things are happening in this house. Why is there ash in Mabel's room? That is one thing.
That
Why
we
are
have
people
not
eat? Why are people eating the ash? Is one other question.
That
Please
was
tell me why.
possible.
That is the kind of, a strange phenomenon that uncle is usually a thing too. So it's
Hey, you
different.
give him
I
some
think.
respect. He's gone to school and everything. Doctor, professor, uncle. And you go down the corridor now.
Cool. I
Okay,
have a degree.
Went to school only, to get the degree.
Okay, with that,
suppose.
Bharat will exit the room to go and go. Look, he's just kind of like, okay, I'm sent to go and look for it, which he was already intending on doing anyway. So,
Let's go.
Alika.
We need to at least see the rest
Alright.
of the house as
but
well.
he'll check to make sure there's no one like loitering around the corridors, because it probably wouldn't look good if we were just walking around sniffing after the different rooms in this house, for the Lord's house essentially. So I think he like steps out, looks around. Do I see anything interesting? Any weird figures hovering in front of a door, or do I have to go in?
And you see that the corridor is quite empty, and this does strike you, Bani, also as unusual, because usually you'll have servants running about, and at least at this time of the morning they would have been making breakfast ready and things like making sure the Billingsley is ready to get to his office and things like that. But it is quite empty, and you could perhaps surmise that most of the household staff might have joined the search for Mabel. That is why it is emptier than usual. That could be a conclusion that you would get to. But yeah, it does seem that the corridor at this point at least seems empty.
Go ahead.
So I would kind of be clutching at like Bharat's shirt sleeves, and then I'd just be like, I'd turn around and be like, hey, professor, uncle, journalist, look, the report.
What is this?
Look.
What? This is not. Listen, there are every morning there are people. They're doing work. Nobody is there. Why aren't people around doing work? Maybe they've gone to look for Mabel.
Yes, they've gone to look for Mabel. Breathe. Take air in. Expel air out. Good. Okay, we're going to find out what's happening, but we have to do this in a logical way. Let's go and check each room. We saw that thing move past, and we have no answers about where Mabel is in this room. Maybe there's some clue in a different room. Bharat, you want to lead the way?
Yeah, Bharat like doesn't flinch at all at the fact that Bunny's holding onto his sleeve. This is fine for him. This is okay. And he kind of like just nods, not facing everyone else, and just steps towards the door. And before he opens the door, I think he'll like press his ear again. If the door's not open, press his ear against it to hear if there's someone there.
Which
Did we not see the totally not strange or spiritual static man enter a room?
Yeah. You saw it kind of waft across the corridor and disappear into the last room along the corridor. So you basically, with Bharat leading the group, you make your way across the corridor to where that part of the houses, and of course Bani knows that used to be Edwin's room when he was still around. You approach the room, you see that somehow it is darker here than the rest of the house, even amid despite the rest of the house is also quite gloomy. The whole place seems that gloomy and drained of color, but this area appears even darker than the rest of the place, and you see that there are thick tarpaulins, tarps that cover the outside walls of these houses. Of this house, there is a door that you can see, but there is a lock that hangs on that door. You
Yeah.
So you're putting your
Yeah,
ear
because
to the
I think
door
he's
and try to
still
listen,
logicking
right?
it as like,
yeah.
oh, this might be a person. Maybe the young white side came back or what. Like he's just trying to like figure out what's going on. Yeah, he'll press his against the door.
So I just your eyes got startled for an instant. It's just
yeah, it's just
so
it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Give me a listen roll.
Oh, fantastic. Let's find out what my listening is. Oh no. What is my listening? Sorry. There we go. Oh, okay. This isn't terrible. That's a 10.
Right?
That's good.
On and your skill is?
My skill is a 20. So
20.
it's
So
just
that's
success,
a-
I think.
Yeah, that's a
Regular.
Hard
Hard
success. Yes. I was going to say superior success for some reason, but yeah,
Mhm.
same thing. It's hard success. You put your ear to the door, as it's deafening silence. Basically, you have this ambient noise at all times, right? You where you're standing, you'll hear something, but the moment you put your ear to the door, it's as if a curtain is drawn against your ears. You hear nothing.
Yeah, Bharat will remove his ears from the door and says, I don't hear anything. And he looks at the lock and looks over to Bani and just asks, do you have a chance that you will have the key?
To Edwin Baba's room.
Huh?
Who do you think I am? I know.
I don't know.
Wait. Where? No,
Not
but
everyone here has keys to all the rooms.
listen, you have keys or what to all the houses in the village? No. Do you?
No, but they let me in.
Right.
That's because you knock really hard.
Yeah, knocks. But okay, so you know what? This room hasn't been used for months because this one also, everybody disappears from this house. But I think so. There's a lock, but and nobody's cleaned for a while. Look at all this dust. My room, you see, it's not one speck of dust near my bed. Anyway, listen. Wait, I'm sure the keys should be. Keeper, where would the keys be?
I mean, you definitely don't have the key.
Yeah.
The butler of the house, he might have the key. His name is Comerford. Yeah. He's the one who has the keys to all the rooms of the house. Whoever needs the keys, servants basically, to clean and all, they get it from him. But you also think that Dottie, Edwin's mother, also most probably has a key to his room. And just when this thought occurs to you, you hear footsteps coming from around the corridor, and these kind of very sheepish kind of footsteps, and you see Dottie appear right over there. She comes from around the corridor. She sees all of you standing there, and almost immediately averts her eyes. It's almost like mumbling, and she says something like, "Oh, it's the visitors, strangers." I'm not supposed to talk to strangers. She just stands there with her head bowed.
So Bani, being a part of the household, I think would like approach her and kind of not maybe touch her, but like kind of move as if to like support her as she's walking, and just says, "Madam, I'm not a guest. I look after Mabel."
Yes, I have seen you. I'm sorry, I do not know your name.
That's
I'm
all
sorry.
right, madam. Are you headed to this room? And I kind of point towards Edwin's room.
Oh no, I'm not supposed to go in there. Alcott has said I should not go in there. I have the key though. Do you want to go in there?
Yes, there's so much cleaning to be done. Can I have the key?
Oh yes. Yes, one moment. She takes out a whole bunch of keys, and I mean, looking at that bunch, you can see that most of the keys are kind of bent and rusted and all that. You have a feeling that most of those keys do not serve a function really. But from among those, she picks out one key. She, with some effort, she kind of retrieves it from the keychain, and she kind of again, quite sheepishly hands it to you.
Thank you, madam. Do you want me to help you to your room?
Do you know where my Eddie is? Have you seen
I
him
believe
around?
he's away on a business trip, madam. So I'm sure he will be. I'm sure he will be back very, very soon. If I see him, I will direct him to you immediately. That's why we have to clean his room, because it can't be dirty, right? When he returns.
He's coming back. You know he's coming back.
Don't they always?
Yes, but okay. I don't really understand his work, but I don't know. He was really excited about something. It seemed like he had stumbled onto something big before he went away. Perhaps he went off. I don't really understand what he does, but he was happy. He's not always happy, the lad. Doesn't happen very often. He was quite happy about something. He told me that he found something. He discovered something, but then he went away.
Where did he find the thing?
I don't know. He keeps doing his work in his room, and sometimes in the big room with the seeing eye glass and everything. Maybe there, or maybe he's gone off to the village. There's a boy there that he really likes. They're very good friends. He talks about him quite often. I don't think Alcott likes him going to the village very much, but he goes away sometimes. Maybe he's there. Have you seen him there?
The thing is, we're here, so no. But Bani looks around at Val and just as if to say, "Have you seen him in the village?"
Have I seen it? Has Bharat seen it? I mean, I guess he wouldn't wouldn't know, because he doesn't know Edwin.
Yeah.
So have you spotted any stray white men running around?
Have I spotted a straight white man running around?
Stray.
You gotta You gotta make that distinction here.
Have I seen a white man?
Yes.
Do I think
In the village.
in the village? Interacting with a
roll
boy
me-
in the village, I think, is a very, very specific
right.
interaction.
Right. So roll me luck.
Oh, luck. Okay. Give me a second. Luck. All right.
To see if you happen to have come across, because you do not
Fine.
spend all of your time in the village, you keep coming and going. So if you have happen to cross
Oh
paths.
my god, I rolled a 43. My luck is 45.
Whoa.
Okay, that's good. That's
Oh
good.
my god.
Yeah. You haven't. Sorry. You haven't seen Edwin in the village with your own eyes, but you have heard talks of him being around the village and meeting this man, not really a boy, a man whose name is Atua. He works in the garden, but he also kind of runs the liquor place in the village. His name is this man whose name is Atua. There are some in the village who are not really happy with like somebody from the owner's family, like a white man, basically loitering in the village. But then it has been some time since it has been some time since he has been making these trips to the village. So some of them are comfortable with his presence. But yeah.
Okay, cool. I think when Bani looks at Bharat is just kind of like, there's like a light bulb that goes off in his head of like, oh yeah.
Wait.
Oh, and he makes that face of like, oh yes.
Oh,
and he
that
kind
white
of
man.
yeah, and then he like looks at Bani and is just like, I think so. There's a fellow at the liquor store. I think
Oh.
he's seen.
Of course, you've seen him. Wonderful. So,
Don't whack my habits. What did I do?
listen, Auntie is gonna argue. Okay, just give me that. So, okay, so I turned to Dottie, and I'm hoping that she hasn't noticed Bharat's expression of, oh yeah. So I just so Bani says, yes, we will. That's all definitely true, and of course you know your son best. Maybe we should get some rest, and we will continue in our
Yes.
cleaning.
I think so. I feel a little tired. I'll just go to my room. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, madam.
I think I'll go to my room. And yeah, she goes walks on to the next room where she just opens the door, turns back once to look at you, all of you standing outside, and goes in and closes her
I
door.
look at Bani and say, like, that was rather unkind.
It was. I mean, did you want to search her son's probably not particularly alive son's room in front of her?
But deserves the truth, doesn't she? Whatever the truth may be.
I don't know, whenever this one, Lord Bellingsley is around, he seems to not want her to know, not want to disturb her with any kind of possible bad news about Edwin Baba. I don't think we should interfere with that. I think we're already not doing so great in his eyes. So, or something. No.
It just feels the woman is feels like she's torn asunder by something, hiding the fact that her son is maybe not alive, not helping her in any way.
Right. Well, perhaps we should get more information though before we put those ideas in our head.
Perhaps there are more pressing matters at hand now.
I want to know what those noises are, and I think we were going to we should check Edwin Baba's room, because I mean that's the next logical thing, right? So, and his own mother has given us the key, so we should, we must. Who wants to? I mean, I'm just nanny. I shouldn't. Anybody? Bani,
Maybe the professor.
Any takers?
Professor.
Yeah, literally, Bharat is like
No.
Doctor Professor this, and also does studying and all that. You both same type, no? So maybe you should open.
I mean, I knew Edwin briefly when he was in his.
Even better than who other than a friend to go and open the door.
Wait, we were not friends. We were like professor. Well, I was a little bit older than him in any case. But I don't mind. Let's go. We're in the pursuit of the truth. Must take risks. I open the door.
You open the door with the key and gently push the door open. The interior is quite dark because it's like completely covered. There is like a row of windows on one side, but then everything is covered up. So it takes a while for your eyes to really adjust. But when it does, you see that the interior presents an intriguing sight, to say the least. It seems that time has stopped in the middle of an explosion. There are books, scrolls, and notes strewn all over the place, and some of them are suspended mid-air. You see inside there is this desk, this study desk, and that seems to be where this explosion originates from. The desk itself, it seems to be like splintering and like breaking apart under some great force. While if there was a chair placed next to it, it has been completely obliterated. Whatever objects were on the desk, it is like strewn all over the place, thrown in the air, but then it is like hanging, it is suspended as if the time has stopped.
Good heavens.
This is like what you see, right?
Is
Standing
there
right
still
there.
dust in the room?
There is a bit like as much dust as you would expect, but it's not covered with dust in any way. Though, like as Bani would confirm, nobody has been inside of this room in 3 months at least. There has been no cleaning. There is no layer of dust that you see. I mean, you're still at the doorway. You have to go in.
Immediately take out the camera.
You might.
And start.
You might want to prepare yourselves for this. This is quite a sight, and I'm not sure it's not dangerous either. So
Alright.
cover your faces at least if you can.
Bani's just like,
Bharat hovers near Dr. Professor Uncle's head and just looks around.
yeah, all of us are like,
We just like all four of us, one on top of the other.
Huey,
We
Louie.
hover. Yeah. Yeah, Bharat would be like, Bani, I thought you said no one cleaned here.
no one, this looks clean to you. And then I
Only 3 months, no?
I mean, that's one of the things, yes, but probably not the most interesting thing.
And that's a very Bharat thing to point out, yes.
I'm like looking.
He used to do experiments or something. What is happening here? There is like an explosion here. The desk is broken. The chair is half gone.
An explosion
Yeah.
where? And then like as Bani peers inside the room, still standing like behind at least one person. What is there any object that's kind of suspended in air near enough for Bani to touch?
Most of it is concentrated near the desk. Yeah. Which is like kind of in the middle of the room. Like
Okay.
facing
At that
the wall.
point, then Bani would like. So Dr. Professor Uncle is standing in front.
I have a
and
name,
then-
just in case everyone has forgotten over here.
I mean, we're giving you so
I do
much
not know.
respect. So much respect.
Some would say too much.
Some would say too much. It is the respect I do not afford others. So Bani then turns to either Dr. Professor Ankur or Nong Khun and says, it's a desk. There are study materials. Check. Go. You went so much school. You went to know. Go check. All in your schools, all your desks exploded or what? No, this is unusual. No, go check. Hey, this one, and then it's like poking the professor, Dr. Professor Ankur in the back, being like, you ate ash just now. Just how is this different? Just go.
Please lick the brain surface here.
I'm feeling a slight disdain in your tone for the word school.
No
somehow.
disdain. Education so powerful. Go.
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
Apparently. Namkun, do you want to accompany me here? I'm sure you're investigative. I will probably be of quite a bit of help in this very strange scenario.
It's quite strange, but I would just scan around the room. I just want to see, is there any source of light here? Any source of external light?
There is like a lamp. There was a lamp on the desk, which is also now like flying in the midair. But near there's a bed, which is more like not affected as much by the explosion, so it seems more or less intact. And next to it, there's like a nightstand on which there is also a lamp. No, these are not electric lamps. They are all like oil lamps.
So can we look for?
But it's not burning.
So I'm like, do you? And I sort of look at the professor. Like, do you see any signs of the things that brought us here? Do you see any? What is ball lightning? Balls of lightning, whatever. So, are there any signs or sparkles of that? And I look to the professor, and also I'm trying to look around the space, looking for that.
I give a sniff. Can I smell ozone? Laughing at my scientific process. This is insulting.
Sniffing and licking. No, you don't smell ozone. The telltale signs of that electrical effect that you experienced earlier, it's not there here. It's not here at this point.
Just a side note before Alika. Basically, I thought of this thing last time when you did it, but then I sort of got distracted because there were more serious things happening. Now that there are not so many serious things happening, I just want to say, do you guys remember CID, the 90s,
Yes.
that thing?
Yes.
Then what is that crazy doctor's name there? That Dr. Salumke or something else, something.
I just
He
remember
literally-
Shivaji Satam.
Yeah. He used to do drug tests and then he used to lick the white stuff and be like dance around and
Yeah,
be like,
that's
oh, this is cocaine, or this is something, and I'm like, this is the same energy,
Same wavelength, Chao, because I was literally like, if we don't find a key, we'll just be like, Daya! It's like,
Yeah. So anyway, sorry, Alika.
Daya being Bharat in this
Daya being Bharat!
here. Yeah.
Straight down this door. And so, Val, just for your references, just have you seen?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Great. Then we all.
I was nodding and understanding.
All of us.
Yes.
all of our education is enjoyable, but I just want somebody to go like, "Hey, ye to mar gaya" at some point.
I assure you, if I see a dead body there, I will make that reference. Anyway, point B.
Okay, so
As I walk over to that place, there are some things which are in mid-air, right?
Yeah.
Can I touch them and move them in the air?
Yeah, if you touch them, they kind of float away, move as if they're in zero gravity. As you enter, you also do see a copious amount of ash on the floor in front of the table, and at least looking at it visually, it does look similar to the ash that you found in Mabel's. So whether it tastes the same or not, that you can find out. The stuff that is suspended in the air, most of it looks to be notes and study materials, even books of different kinds. So that's what the content of.
Can we collect it? Can you move it? Like, can I? If there are notes, can I take it away and like take it?
Yeah. You can. Look, when you touch them, you can move them easily enough. It's as if like something is in zero gravity. That's just how
They're not
it
stuck.
functions.
Right? Like,
They're not stuck. No, you can pull them to you, and you can take them.
Can I, looking at the ash, make a deduction? If the amount of ash found in Mabel's room is equal to the proportion of one 8-year-old, is this amount of ash equal to the proportion of a 23-year-old? Roughly.
No, the amount of ash you found in Mabel's room was quite minimal. It was definitely not proportional to an 8-year-old. It was just a little bit of ash. Here you find more. It's like a pile
Can I
of ash
roll
on the
to
ground.
taste this ash?
But
To do
It's a more mature vintage of ash.
Stop! Jeez, I'm not tasting all the ash around here.
I mean, not while we're looking, maybe.
I'll steep my narcotics, okay? The point being, okay, well, this is concerning. I will point out the ash to people without taking a pinch of it or anything like that. Can I inspect the desk? What is there on the desk which may have caused this explosion? Are there any
There's-
chemicals?
No chemicals. Not much lies on the desk itself. It's all kind of floating above it. The desk itself is also kind of breaking and splintering apart. So no sign of no trace of chemicals, no trace of explosive of any sort, nothing like that.
I don't see any reason why this thing had to explode. It's a very nicely made desk, sturdy. Mahogany, probably.
very scientific observations.
I'm a botanist. If I did not comment on the
Botanist.
word, what kind of botanist would I be?
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm collecting all.
He knows his wound.
Oh, sure. Meanwhile, I'm collecting all the notes as like the professor is going around and looking at the desk and beautiful craftsmanship. I'm going to look at the notes, like try to collect all the bits and pieces. Well, just like I know I don't have the technical knowledge to sort of decipher what is happening, but I'll try to read them. And I don't know what role do I need to.
No, so looking over some of the pages of notes that you like kind of collect from the air and glimpse over them, the notes that are handwritten, they are some kind of like a lot of them relate to astronomy and the path of comets. Some calculations, astronomical calculations, basically. Some of them do. So all of these notes are written in English, so you can read them easily enough. Some of them, as you read through them, do mention some kind of primordial ancient power. It is what is hinting towards. But out of all these notes, you also do find two books, two tomes, like complete tomes that are also floating in the air, which do look interesting. Do you collect them as well?
Yes, I think in this moment where I am very zealously reading through and collecting,
Mhm.
I think I would pull at them. I
Okay.
mean, yeah, I guess.
Okay, and you're starting to go through them?
I am starting to go through.
Yeah, why not? So one of them is kind of soft bound, and it seems to be like a kind of a almost like a homemade kind of a binding on it. And as you turn the pages, it is in Assamese, this book, but it seems to be actually a
Mhm.
translation. And as you turn some of the pages, I believe Nongku would find it quite intriguing, because it seems to be a a Assamese translation of a travelogue by the 7th century Chinese monk and traveler Huan-sang. But this is not the more famous book that later became the basis for Journey to the West, the one that is quite well known, that I am sure Nong would also know about, because there is a mention of ancient Assam and the ancient kingdoms of Assam in that particular translation, in that particular book. This is a lesser known book, it seems. Not much is known about this, but this seems to be like a chronicle of some of the practices and rituals of the region that he himself deemed a little unsavory. So that is what you can gather at a first glance through the book. You will have to like kind of make a more detailed study to like find out what else and what did. So you also actually find notes written by Edwin on the margins, on the borders and things like that. So if you spend some time with this book, you will definitely find out what part of this particular book interested Edwin specifically. So this is that. The other book. It features this. It's hardbound, but it's leather bound basically. But the leather is kind of it looks really old. It's kind of starting to crumble, and the name of it written on the cover of the book. It's kind of inscribed onto it with this very old kind of old-timey letters. The name of the book is Monsters and Their Kind. Like MONSTRES and then KYNDE, very like a old English language.
Yeah.
So if you want to read through this, you will have to give me a language roll because it is written in Old English. If you have English,
Yeah. I mean, do I have the time to do it? If yes, then yeah, I'm doing it.
No, so again, like to find out what it is about.
Yeah.
Even for that, you will need to give me a language roll.
Okay, I shall give you language. So I have 3 languages. So I have Assamese, then I have local bhasha, and then I have English. So you want the English role, I believe?
Yes. This is going to be the English roll.
Oh, lovely. My English is the lowest, which is 27. Let's see. Yeah, I rolled a 14. So I think that's a hard.
That's a regular success.
Regular.
I mean, you can spend 1 luck point to make it a hard success, but it is a regular success for now.
No, I'm not making it a hard success.
Yeah. So you flip through some of the pages. There are some illustrations, and they are not the happy kind for sure. The illustrations, because it seems like it is describing several different mythical creatures. That is what the illustrations, the descriptions are of. And again, you have to spend some time with this book to like really get to know what more it can give you. Are you going to do that now? Do you want to do that now?
Okay. Okay. Why do I feel like this book is gonna curse me? Stop giving me a smile. I think I aspire. So basically, I think I'll start taking a couple of pictures, and if I have the time, and if the other people are not doing anything, I would go and like just go towards away from that explosion and just very briefly start looking at it.
Right. You start to go through the book as you like turn the pages. You feel like your like head, it almost starts to hurt a little bit just looking at these pictures, illustrations, just trying to read those words, trying to like comprehend them, like form comprehensible sentences out of the way it is written. And you spend some time with it. You realize that the book contains descriptions of different mythical creatures, of course, but it also, it claims to also give you the methods to summon those creatures. And as you kind of start reading through this, you feel this like kind of almost like a nail driving into the back of your head. You are going to take 4. That was a D4 on a D4. 4 points of sanity loss from that. Just going through this book, it starts to physically hurt after a while. But you do gather from your initial study that this book, while it contains descriptions of all this kind of creatures, it also claims to give you a method to summon them. But then, in order to actually be able to do that, at least follow the recipes, follow what the book says, it'll take like a much detailed study, which will take like a much longer time. So the rest of you do see Nong Khun like quietly take these two books and go off to a corner, and as they are starting to like rifle through the pages, you see them intermittently like hold their head. So yeah, you see all this happening.
So
Yes, I had the same feeling with my history text as well.
So I think that like Bani is initially at least still standing next to Bharat at the entrance of the room, and sort of still clinging on to his shirt, and says, you know, I really don't understand the English sense of decoration. This is how are they just taking over? But also this. With this, this is the culture they want to.
Forget about the food.
I hope they take some food also back. Who knows what's going to happen in 200 years? But no. So and then essentially, so Bani makes that observation, and then Bani notices Nong Khun's expression of pained listen, and turns to Bharat and says, "See, this is what happens when you study too much."
Bharat nods, and he just says like, "That's why I don't study, and I just do what I do." And we have our attention has been brought to the ash that's here, right?
Yes,
is it in a pile or is it scattered? It's in a little pile.
It's in
okay,
a pile.
Excellent. I love that for us. But Bharat, I think, is very interested that we found ash in two locations, and one location that's seemingly locked and no one goes into, right? So he's looking specifically if like this, if there's a way to like exit this room without using the main, like he's looking for hidden things in this room.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah. So you're going around the room looking for like hidden exits and things of that sort. Or
yeah,
just
like weird window or fence out there that'd be perfect to climb over there. Yeah, things like that. Yeah.
Give me a spot hidden roll. Very aptly named.
Yep, I love this stat so much. It gives me life. All right, spot hidden -50. Let's see. Roll. That is a 1. I'm rolling really well today.
Bloody brilliant.
I'm rolling really well today. That's a 1.
Yes,
Yeah.
please keep making all our rolls.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, all you get from the 1 is that there is nothing, no hidden exits, no hidden secrets here. It, for all intents and purposes, this might have been a very regular room of like there is a single bed and like living arrangements for one person, and there was the study area. There is a rack of other books, but I suppose Bharat would not really understand most of the contents of those. But yeah, you do your damnedest to look for like secret exits and anything of that would be out of the ordinary, but you find none.
I think Bharat will say like loud enough for everyone to hear, and just say like, so we found ash in 2 places. One big pile here, and one tiny pile in the other room. But there's no other way to exit this room other than this door. So, is there someone that comes here regularly that would go to the little girl's room?
at this point, so Bani, I'm assuming you're asking Bani.
Yeah, he's asking the room because the other person who, yeah, the other person, because even Doctor Professor Uncle
He's having an
hates
ash
at the
licking time.
ash. Yeah. So he's also
One
like
time, guys. One time.
One
time. is
time.
fine.
One time you lick some ash.
And suddenly now I'm the
Strange
ash liquor.
Suddenly I'm the ash licker.
Now you get a reputation, people. Do one thing, one time.
But yeah, so if Bani has the answer to that, yeah, Bharat will be definitely open to it. He just wants to. He doesn't know how everything adds up quite yet with the content he has currently.
So Bani does want to know.
Mhm.
Your keeper. But also, Bani has like kind of, I mean, aside from being like, how much you study, this is what happens, your head will work, has moved towards Khun as like her nanny instinct is like, poor thing, like let's see what's wrong with him. And so has sort of left Bharat's sleeve and has made her way across the room to where Khun is like sitting with the books. When Bharat asks this question, Bani knows.
Bani knows that, I mean, Edwin and Mabel, they did spend plenty of time together. They were close because in some ways they were similar. They were both like quiet kids. So despite their age difference, they seem to be good friends. So, I mean, it would not be unusual for Edwin to go into Mabel's room now and then, and for Mabel to come into his workplace now and then.
Okay, so Bani looks up when Bharat asks the question and says, I mean, Edwin Baba and Mabel were basically the only real children in this house. Edwin Baba stopped being a child at some point, but not to these people. So they would hang out and they would spend time together. She would be in this room, he would more often be in that room, and they would spend time together out on that balcony, that thing where you can look at the stars for some reason. What these people keep doing, I don't know, but you can look at the stars on that side of where we sleep, which is very inconvenient, let me tell you.
Bharat will lock that away for convenience. That piece of information is a place to investigate. And I think he will kind of like look at Bunny like really seriously and just say, so if Edwin Baba would still be alive, Edwin Baba could and would go into Mabel's room. Right?
Sorry, why would Edwin Baba take some ash, carry it around, put some in Mabel's room? Why? Okay, I understand that these people have some strange interior decoration styles, but to carry ash with them around is this a hobby? Is this something young people do? I've not seen it before.
I mean, just like to as young people has a hobby, and sort of Nong Khun comes back from their vision sort of blurred for a moment when they sort of went into that tomb, and then they had like flashbacks of like basically they have a flashback of them lying in the grass on the field with nobody, and then sort of that sort of image sort of keeps recurring, and as sort of coming back as they're saying hobby and all, and then sort of that hobby sort of the word that sort of startles them, and they say focused and collected. Edward seems to have not the hobbies that a young man would have. At least not the young man that I know.
What hobby? You know what? It's fine.
I'll
What hobby
check
is
the
this?
bed. I check under the bed. Does Edwin have any interesting hobbies under the bed?
Rajib, don't look at us so evilly when we ask to look under the bed. Please don't do this.
No, there's nothing there.
Oh well. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like he had any other hobbies. Oh, can I try something just before we continue? May I take like any piece of debris or like another book, maybe like a book on maths? I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
From the room, which is not contained in the explosion, which is
Right.
just outside the radius.
Yeah, there's a
Can I-
bookshelf which is filled with books,
good.
academic of
I will-
academic nature.
Pick the maths book.
Okay.
And can I yeet it into the explosion gently? Just to see what happens if an outside object goes into this time stop.
It falls to the ground.
Ah, fascinating. So new things aren't affected by this. It seems to be a perfectly preserved time capsule of whatever happened there at that point in time. Wait,
Uncle,
so that
it's simple
means the
language.
No. It means whatever happened is still like that. It's not changed. But anything new that has come in, that is still subject to change.
I give back the
So-
astronomy papers to us and check with these. These were part of the explosion. Do they go back? I don't know.
I
Just ask her.
I take the least interesting piece, just probably like the dedication or whatever, crumple it and throw it.
Again, it like falls to the ground. Doesn't float.
I suppose once it's been taken out, it's no longer in the stream of time. Which makes this interesting. That means the ash was here before the explosion because it was already piled on the ground and not in the midst of falling from somewhere.
Or maybe it is
Isn't
the
that right?
explosion which caused the ash.
But then it would have been in the air, because once you explode, it comes from something and then it gets affected by gravity and falls to the ground.
So initially, when the professor, Dr. Uncle, starts talking about the ash, Bani is like, again with the ash. But then, but when he says that, ash has to have been there, not during the explosion, Bani looks around to see what else she can see that that is not suspended in this way, that if there's anything else that people haven't noticed.
So there is a distinct, almost like a radius that you can see where this time stop, as the Dr. Professor had put it, is active. Beyond that, things are, as you would expect, more or less normal. And so nothing out of the ordinary. But while you are looking for all of this, can I have a listen roll from all of you?
I hate that. I hate
Yeah,
that personally.
No, you can't have.
No, I love it. Let's go. Oh, wait, hang on. Is this 6-0 or 9-0?
So
I am rolling so well.
So Bani
Oh my god.
Bani got issues. Bani has rolled 85 on a 30.
On a 30, yes.
68. Not.
Any successes? Do we
I
have
do.
successes?
I rolled a 98.
At all.
98.
Oh wow! What's your skill, by the way?
Skill?
98 on?
It's what we're looking for. Listen, right?
Listen, right?
Listen is
Is
20.
it below 50? Okay. So that is the crit fail actually, but I mean it won't really have an effect here. It's like passive listening really.
I got a
so
six
Bharat,
for
you,
a
had a success?
20. I know.
What rolls?
I'm really happy today.
Actually, we're going to listen to Dr. Professor Uncle. You only roll for us.
I roll on behalf of everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take
So,
this luck until it inevitably kills me later. So we'll keep going.
So what you hear from outside is footsteps.
I think Bharat. Did we
Right
leave
outside
the
the
door open or
No, you did.
It's closed.
No, actually, you did not mention it. So up to you guys.
Yeah.
I don't think we would have closed it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The main door?
the door of the room.
Door to this room that
To
was
this-
locked, that you opened and then entered. Did you close the door behind you, or did you leave it?
Nah. I don't think any of us would have been
Yeah,
like brave enough to close
Yeah,
that door.
no.
So,
I need an
Because that would
exit.
just determine how Bharat would want us to react to this. But if it's open, cats are out of the bag already.
exactly. It doesn't matter much. Yeah.
It doesn't matter much, but Bharat will like hold a finger up, tell everyone to shut up as he listens, realize that there's footsteps. He makes that symbol and then just like tells everyone to act cool. Like really quickly
the
in
books back in
our
my bag.
language. Yeah, that is like
Yes.
it's like someone's coming. Hide the things. And he'll just stand up straight as if we weren't just skulking about looking for things.
And Bani panics and just starts, because she's still next to this one Nong Khun, so just starts patting him on the head.
I look at him and I'm like, hide the things. What do you mean hide the things? Hide the explosion? Hide the time travel shit?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
as Dr. Professor is exclaiming about all this, you hear this like grumbling voice from outside. It says, "Who has gone in there? Do you have been expressly prohibited from?" And like this, you see this person enter and just come forward, and he sees all of you, and then he immediately stops and says, "Oh, it's you all. You
Hi.
are this. You are not supposed to be here. Please."
No, we
Mem
are.
Saib gave us the key to investigate because we saw something. So
We have express permission.
You have permission from Master Billingsley.
no,
Yes.
the madam.
No, yes,
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 the
no,
madam.
yes.
Alika
yes,
said
yes, Lord.
yes.
Billingsley.
Dr. Professor said yes. So Dr. Professor rolled me a fast talk.
Oh no, is my fast talk good? I don't
I
even know.
don't
where it
Not a
is.
lot of fast talking happening here, but
Wait, hang on.
it's equivalent to
I
deception.
mean, I'll roll it. I don't know where the heck my fast talk is at.
It's all
This is
alphabetical.
probably not good. This looks like a 96, which is probably
Oh
my
not going
God.
to do
That's
anything.
probably not going to work. Your fast talk is a 5. You rolled a
Oh.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
so that's
Yeah.
that's pretty much a critical failure.
Mhm.
Comerford, like you say yes, and like he expressly asked you the question, you said yes,
Yes.
and then like the way you said yes, it is clearly a lie, very clearly. And you
Yeah.
are probably not used to fibbing just like that, and you were just a moment ago you were like kind of all over the place in your mind
Yes.
where you are
Mhm.
supposed to hide things and all that. So, but you can see that Comerford is not really surprised to like, see the situation inside of the room, other than you all. So it seems like he has witnessed this, whatever is going on here before. So he looks to you, Professor, and says, "Professor, I did not expect this from you. Regardless, you do not have permission to be here. Please follow me. I will take you back to where you are supposed to be."
We were called here to this house to
Yes, yes.
investigate.
To investigate the disappearance of Miss Mabel.
Yes.
You will not
How
find
do you
anything of that
expect us to investigate it if we are not allowed to do the investigation?
Hasn't Edward also disappeared?
And
Perhaps
when-
they were
when-
connected.
I am merely a servant, Professor, and the rest of you. But I am here following the orders of Master Billingsley. And Master Billingsley has expressly prohibited anybody from coming into this room. So please, if you don't want me to lose my job, please follow me.
So when he's getting more and more worked up, Bani, who is used to dealing with children and also is not used to being spoken to as if she were a child, goes,
Mhm.
one second. Just you're coming in. None of this seems unusual to you. That book is in the air. The book is in the air.
Yes, I am aware there is some weird things that happened here, but that is none of your concern.
No.
You, Bani, you are already on very thin ice. Yes, you are. So
This ice is from your country, okay? Ice is not a thing here. You just calm down, okay? Calm down. We are here to find out what the navel is.
Funny.
Unnecessarily.
Don't make things worse for you than it already is. All right.
But Bharat at this
Just-
point will like hold, if you're still like close to Bharat, he like holds your forearm and is like, Bunny, no, just leave it. We have what we need.
No manners with the children. This is what Bani is muttering in our
Yeah.
language.
Not a moment too soon. And he like kind of turns and starts walking away. So you do have an opportunity to like kind of pilfer some of the things that you have already, if you'd like. Nong Khun, especially.
Yeah.
So I think, are we in a place where are we being actively escorted by the person, or are we in a space to talk?
Not really. Like he's expecting you to follow him soon, especially Bani.
So Bani is going to make a great show of like storming out, like storm, and like go across the corridor to where like she would sleep, and past that to the observatory-ish, like the balcony, sort of just kind of willing the others mentally to be like, just follow me. Just like stop. Go towards her.
Okay.
Follow her.
You see, as like you stomp out of the room, the Comerford is standing right outside, and he says, "Now, where are you going?"
Hello, I also work here. I also care about neighbor. I don't know about what instructions you have gotten, but we have been told to look for these children, or at least one child, and hopefully the others will appear. But look, it's important that we look around. Okay, you don't want us in that room. We left that room. Now you go do whatever you want in that room. We are going to search for these children. Are you going to stop us?
No, fine. The rest of the house is okay, just not this room. Now, did you break the lock, or do you have the key?
We told you that we have a key. Why would we break it? We also work here, no?
I would like it.
You also
back,
have one
please.
key. I'm going to give it back to who it belongs to. Unnecessarily, you want two keys for what?
You do not have to bother with that. I will return the key to Biswanath. That is whom you got the key from. Just return it to
Be
me.
kind to that woman.
I might have to have the locks.
You know what? I don't want to hear it.
Just give me the key. I want to see it.
In the meantime, the doctor professor is going to be taking a little pinch of ash and putting it in a little bit of a vial.
Which is
Alright.
which is why Bharat is standing at the door. He's just like, oh,
Yeah,
these other two.
making sure that-
This is the time for the other two to get whatever else they need. Well, these other two are arguing, so he's just like.
Right. So in that time,
I only
Professor,
I'm
you
taking the books.
I don't
collect a bit of the ash, and Nongkun, you have this chola, right? I'm assuming, being a reporter and all
Yeah,
that. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
quickly put the books into your chola, and you all come out. Comerford is satisfied with like having the key back, and he storms off somewhere into the house. So yeah, you are once again left alone. So you want to go in Bani. You want to go into the observatory.
Yeah, because Bani remembers that it's one of the places where Edwin used to hang out. She saw something that looked like some constellation when she was close to Nongkun before he like snapped out of it. Plus, since Edwin and Mabel used to hang out there sometimes, she just sort of basically, because Edwin and Mabel are on her mind, she kind of, without really thinking about it, heads towards the observatory and then towards the balcony, and then realizes that it's a good idea.
Right. So, Nongkhun?
Yeah, as we are going on, I'd like to catch up to Bharat and like speak in the. I presume Bharat is more fluent in the local bhasha than in Assamese.
Yes, probably.
I
Yeah.
would presume. So I would presume that Bhattacharya would not be that proficient in local
Yeah,
bhasha.
You are correct.
I am assuming. Yes. Okay. I go up to Bharat and I have sort of I start speaking in a local bhasha and you see that there is a complete tone shift. When I speak in Assamese and English, I'm like this. Okay, yeah, flowery language, blah blah blah, all of that. But when I speak in local tongue, it sort of changes and I'm like more direct.
So,
And I'm like,
no, I was
Saying
just saying you would be like, sup, in local language.
stop. Yeah. Yeah. So my dog, I'll be like, yeah. So, so my friend, but so what happened? So I do this into some crazy shit. Let's call it that. But I just wanted to know a couple of facts. I think you have your ear to the ground, more like here. Have you heard of any rumors around this place of any? I mean, apart from the appearance of children, of anything other than that, anything supernatural, ghostly, anything other than in the village, in the outskirts.
Before I ask the GM a clarification what I know, Bharat eyes you very curiously as soon as your tonal shift happens, and kind of like that code switching, right?
Yeah.
And he kind of like looks at you, and there's a glint in his eye that kind of looks like respect. Because he's just like, okay, now you're speaking my language and how I get things done. All right, let's talk. So honored benevolent GM, have I heard anything supernatural other than people? I mean, obviously communities have like spiritual practices and superstition.
Yeah.
Other than that, do I know anything?
Roll me occult.
Oh God. This is where it ends.
You're
This is
about
where
to-
it ends.
Your eyes are about to glint with something other than respect, my dear.
Yeah. This is where it
Can't wait
ends.
for this to be another. Oh,
These
I
five.
remember that.
28.
Oh,
That's a fail, and
That's a
too
fail.
far for for a luck point thingy
Yeah.
as well. No, you haven't heard anything particularly like at least the nature that Nongkhun is hinting at. You haven't heard anything of that sort.
I think Bharat will like look at him as we're both walking. This is kind of like this white guy's into some weird shit, correct? But I mean, do you mean like festivals and things like that? Other than that, nothing.
I mean,
Not books flying type things.
yeah. Okay, maybe then this is the origin of the thing then. Anyway, so I have a second question for you, and I think you mentioned some person, Tapsi. I would like to say she's my friend. I mean, as far as friends go in these kind of situations. And would there be an opportunity, or can we create an opportunity where we get ourselves out of this white man's palace and rendezvous our friends?
I am also getting tired of this mahal, so I would like to investigate the village as well. This Edwin fellow, he is beating someone in the village, and I want to know more about that. So yeah, we can make something happen. And he has a little smirk as he says that, Because for him, it's like, okay, you're entering my little web now of like my connections with the village. So in his sort of mind, it's like, all right, we are making a deal here, and I'm very, very into it. So he kind of like nods at you affirmatively that he's down to create an opportunity for you.
And is the professor close by?
I mean, you are all walking together, right?
The
Okay,
professor is currently sniffing the air. Are we not? Wait, do not take this the wrong way, okay, people? Are we not close to that room which was like full of plants and shit? You said
That
there was
is
like
the
a
central-
weird. Yes, there's like a
Yeah,
weird
that's like the
smell
central
from there.
room. That's like a central room, but you are. I mean, if you're going to the observatory, you'll go along this corridor over here, and this is where the observatory.
Wow.
I mean, there is generally this kind of smell of like kind of mildew, kind of a smell in general around the place.
But nothing like particular.
Yeah, when you had
from
come. No. So when you come across, actually, there was this
Right,
pond
right,
that
right.
you saw with some lilies and all that, but it smelled like dead fish, which it's not too weird. I suppose.
Not weird.
Like,
Not
No,
weird.
okay.
Okay.
Not
why
weird.
would you have a pond in the house?
Courtyard, but also like flying books on.
True.
smelling of
Okay,
them.
we have to
Dead
set expectations at that. That's fair. Like,
I mean, really, this interior decoration is not their thing.
Yeah.
Clearly. I mean, I expected more, but all right.
So,
Anyways,
since Bani is kind of stormed off, would she have heard Khun mention supernatural stuff?
Give me a listen check, because they did they went away just a little bit, so that
Indeed.
you can speak privately, Bharat.
Hmm.
But you do know the language, of
Yeah,
course.
that's all.
We're not trying to hide it. We're just like on the side.
we're
Right,
just
right.
pals. We're just guys being dudes.
Yeah.
Like,
Sure. 86 on 30. So nope. Bani, don't hear.
No. I mean, you notice them going off and talking about something, but yeah, you couldn't make out what they are speaking about. In the meantime, you get to the observatory, get to this place called the observatory, which looks like the workplace of an amateur astronomer, more or less. Bani, that Nira basically set this up for Edwin because it seemed that he was quite interested in astronomy from a very young age. In this place, there is a large brass telescope, which seems quite like big, heavy, and powerful. There are also books, scrolls, and other study materials scattered about the place. So that's what you see as you get in there.
Do the books look similar in like age and from what at least Bani can tell, subject matter to the stuff that Nong has borrowed?
No, so you don't really see any ancient tomes here. They all seem like more textbooks and other like research work about space, astronomy,
And
things like
does Bani see anything that's sort of Mabel related lying around?
that. I mean, I would ask for a roll, but no, there isn't really anything here. You do find, as you are looking around, you do find, Bani, a notebook that is next to the telescope, and this is a notes written by Edwin. The cover of it says like observations on the cosmos, which is, I mean, a little bit grandiose, it seems. But inside of it, it's. Are you going to look through it, or are you going to give it to somebody
I would
else
look
to look
through
through?
it.
Okay. It begins with a lot of different observations of different sightings of different stars and comets and things of that sort, like specific degree and where it was seen, what time, and things like that, and different notes. It seems like he was really interested to have a comet named after him at some point of time, so he was looking for a comet that is not discovered yet, and so on. After a while, he does mention a comet. But there is also something. There is also mention of something which he calls the entity. And following this, the next few pages, the writing becomes increasingly erratic. Just the way it is written, the handwriting, it becomes like less and less decipherable. And it goes on. So after a while, it just becomes repeatedly mentioning like entity, the entity, the entity. It's just repeating that those two words continuously in all of the pages, continuously until you get to the last page, where on top in big letters, and it looks like he like really stabbed the pen into the book as he wrote this. It is a date which is about a year from the current date, like the same month. The day differs by a few weeks or so, but it's approximately a year from now. And underneath it is written, the entity rises.
A year from now in the future.
In the future. Give me a sanity check, man.
No, buddy.
No.
You should be
You're the
reading all
last
this.
person to be doing all this nonsense.
First of all, as soon as I said Bani reads the book and I saw Khun smile, I was like, what have I done? So I was prepared for this. Oh wow. Bharat rolled for me.
What?
No,
I
you're
can't
right
save
at
you. What am I going to do?
I don't.
That's okay.
That's not my
As you-
problem. It's 91.
Oh,
Oh my
Bloody hell.
god!
bloody hell. That's bad.
Yeah.
Still, I mean, it's a D4, so it shouldn't be too bad. That's a 2 point of sanity damage, so it's still not 5, which is the point where things go really bad. But you have cumulatively lost 4 sanity points on this day, so we have to keep track of that as well. But yeah. You feel a little off. Just the writing, the way just like scribbled, the scratches and all that, it just paints of like pictures in front of your eyes, like these hovering images. A little bit disturbing.
This day in education.
So can Bani tell before the writing started to go erratic and before the sanity check, did Bani notice the date, any clear dates before the writing started to go erratic?
Right. So it seems like Edwin was really fixated on this particular comet, and he did name it Edwin's comet. Again, like a little bit.
The imagination of a teaspoon.
So, but he observed the path of this comet very closely, and initially, before getting into the whole entity business, it seemed that he was calculating the path of this comet, and he calculated that it would be closest to Earth a year from now, approximately. And it was last closest, like the apogee or perigee. I think apogee is the close point. The last farthest. Okay, the last perigee was like 300 years ago.
Oh my god.
So he's recorded that, and then he's recorded that the Edwin's comet will come back in a year.
A year from
And
now,
also apparently so will the entity.
the entity rises. Is what he wrote.
First of all, has he named the entity also Edwin? Like these people, no sense. My son is also
It's
Edwin.
not-
My comet is also Edwin.
It's not Edwin's entity, it is just the entity.
I mean, thank God. Anyway, okay, so Bani starts like so. Aside from seeing the images kind of floating in front of her eyes, does she see like so? For instance, you said that Edwin's room is kind of like it's darker in the house. So is it similarly dark?
No, this room is quite brightly lit. There are these large bay windows in the front of this room, so it is quite well lit.
Okay. And along with the images, does she also start is it like simultaneous now, like the hearing, like the kind of feeling? The feeling is constant, right? Of like you're being watched.
Mhm. Right.
So at this point, Bani's just like, so when the others sort of walk into the room, she's kind of like,
Right. No, so actually, as you are trying to like make sense of this, trying to delve into this, I would like you to make a power roll.
you know what that is? I'm scared.
Ooh, are
And
you going to get powers?
I don't think that's what that is.
I'm going to
Bani,
oppose it.
please.
Listen, what if there's something wrong with the character sheet?
What has your character sheet got to do with anything?
Listen, Professor, you tell me.
Professor Bhattacharya, if that's your real name.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's a roll 20 curse.
So yeah, it was a failure of 77.
Yeah. So, you had this feeling that something is watching you before when you like encountered something that was not supposed to be, and even now as you read through this journal, you again had that same feeling, these eyes upon you. And as you kind of start to like think deeper into it, you feel like something crawling in like through your back, through it's like it's going into your spine, almost going to the back of your head, and suddenly you feel this itch on the back of your neck. And as you start to itch it you feel that it won't go, this itch. The rest of you see like Bani like frantically starting to itch the back of her neck and like looking here and there frantically. All because she happened to read a book. She said
Education
she did say
dangerous.
education. This is what education does to you, and she didn't heed her own word.
Too much knowledge
Own word.
is dangerous.
Yeah, I think, yeah, if we enter the room, Bharat is just like, you okay? Come, you need me to look?
No,
What's going on?
Something.
Come.
She kind of so Bani would put her hair in front to like expose for the back of her neck, and be like, there's something. It's just it just so badly.
And I will sing.
It's like ants crawling under your skin.
Get it off me.
I will obviously see nothing, right? Looking upon her neck, like it's probably just red from her
I mean,
scratching.
it's starting to grow reddish, but then you don't know if it is just from the scratching because she is going at it.
Yeah, and I think he'll be like, no, don't scratch it. And then he'll like look over at the doctor. And he's like, and he'll actually say seriously, he doesn't
Listen.
call Dr. Bhattacharya, Dr. Professor, Uncle. He's just like, Doctor, please, like, come take a look at this.
Plant doctor.
Yeah, you might have touched a plant.
I'm feeling so disrespected in this house.
I call you doctor now. I'm being very respectful.
Thank you, Bharat. I appreciate it.
Hey, listen, stop appreciating people. See what is going on.
All right. Stay still. Get your hand away. I can't see if your hand is there. Okay, hold your
So
hand.
I assume Bharat is holding her hand because
2 seconds. Is it like starting to bleed out from the amount of itching she's
Not
doing?
really, but yeah, she's like really like it's. I mean, it's just.
Ooh.
So give me a medicine check.
Oh,
If you are
sure,
trying to
like-
like figure out exactly what is causing this.
Yeah, sure. Why not? As if I
I'm
am
not doing it.
medically inclined.
Bharat,
39.
the problem is
Wait, where's
the
my-
head is still
On
attached to
a-
the neck.
I am just checking. Why is my cheek not?
Oh no, you have a 70 on a medicine.
Ooh.
That's like
I'm
medicine
so
is good.
smart. Yeah, I have 71. So 39 should
yeah.
be
So
okay.
you right. So and you are a botanist. You are aware of so many different plants that could have an effect of this sort, like poison ivy and so on. But I mean, the effect of that starts immediately, and you're sure that Bani did not come into contact with a poison ivy just recently. Looking at the general area, it doesn't seem like this is an external effect that is causing
No.
this itch.
Bharat,
There's no bite or anything. There's no rash.
What?
Maybe just put a cold handkerchief on it.
please don't lick my neck.
Disgusting. I would never do that.
My neck is worse. You know what? Bharat, let me go.
I think. yeah.
I'm
Bharat
going
will let you
to
go.
I'm going to take out one of my handkerchief, which I usually have in my pocket. Is there like a tap or like a drinking water station here? Like
There's no drinking water station, but let's say there is a jug of water
Sure.
and a glass
I
next to
would
it.
take the jug of water, dunk my handkerchief in there, and like slap it on the back of it. Does that feel a little better?
Does it?
Roll me another power check.
Oh
God,
no! Not like
Please.
this.
Bharat,
I'm giving you power. guys.
I can't save you.
you control the roles, you know you do.
doesn't really feel much
68.
better.
Yeah.
Perhaps like 10% better. But just then you hear the door is open, but then you hear a knock on it, and you see that it is Comerford. He looks to you. I mean, even if he had some respect in his eyes for some of you at some point, it is gone now. It's just a bit of like open disdain that he looks
I'm
to
used
you,
to it now.
all of you with, and he says, "So, Master Billingsley is on his way."
Okay.
Why?
And as he steps away, Master Billingsley strides into the room. He looks to all of you and he says, "So, have you found anything?"
Well, we certainly found some things, but we're not quite sure if it's related.
I'm sorry, I'm not able to listen to you, Bani. Just what the hell is wrong with you?
There's something in my neck. It won't stop.
Just stand off to one side and just stand to one side. Let me talk to the professor. Move out of my island, all right?
Bani like kind of struggles to the side.
Yes, professor. You were saying.
Yes, I'm sorry. Well, we did discover some very interesting things, but we are not sure how they're related to Mabel's disappearance. Perhaps,
So you have found nothing about Mabel.
well, we found a little bit, but I do not want to jump to any conclusions before we have evidence, because I do not want to raise or lower expectations either. We must proceed in a very logical and scientific way if we want to get to a solid answer. We can conjecture all we like, but that does not change the truth of what happened.
Yes, you have said a lot of words, but what I'm hearing is that you are nowhere closer to finding my daughter, which is all right. I have not given you enough time, but remember, you have to find her at any cost. She is your only priority. Nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. You have free reign. You do whatever you need to do, but you find my daughter. All right.
I look at Comerford and see like that. Yes, I understand. Free reign, indeed, and I shall make it my very first and only priority. But I give Comerford the bombastic side.
He just grunts a little bit. Right. So I suppose you do not have much else to share at this point. I will.
I do have a question. Has Mabel been in this observatory recently that you know of?
No, I don't think so. Not since, well, Edwin's little accident.
So, well, you are aware of that. Interesting. And has he been up here since before the accident, I suppose?
Yes. The boy, he spent all his time over here. I spent all this money on this telescopes and whatnot, and it was all for nothing. That idiot just went off and died, I suppose.
You believe he died in his room, but there's no remains.
We saw somebody said there was some ash there. I suppose that's your remains. I don't want to make a big thing of this. I never wanted
That
a
is
boy.
your nephew.
Yeah, it's not going to be my heir.
Ah, I see how this is. Well, all right. We shall proceed further with the information we have at hand. If you've come across anything else interesting, do with us. Nongkun, is there anything you'd like to add forth about the investigative process?
And as you were saying, like at this point we can only conjecture, and I think we should not be pressed to jump to conclusions because the conjectures we are making are not that pretty. Okay. But I do have one question. What is up with your sister, the lady of the house, and why is Miss Dottie kept in the dark? If you consider, for all purposes and for all practical purposes, Edwin to be dead, why are we keeping her in the dark?
Her mind is fragile, and I don't know why, but she dotes over that boy. So
He's her son.
Yes, she doesn't have much else going on in her life. So if she comes to know, it'll break her little heart. I don't know if she will even survive that. She has been like that since she was a child. Suppose she never really grew up. It's just how she was born. I don't know. We have not had her checked or anything.
She was born
Where's
since she was
husband?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Basically, I was asking since she was born or since she was Mabel's age.
She at some point of time, I don't know. Can you roll me a psychology check?
Ooh, good question, by the way. Interesting.
Psychology 14.
Honor?
I'm supposed to be good at this shit. 15 on a 50. Yeah.
On a 15, 14 on a 15. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
That's a success. That's a success. It counts.
Amazing. What is with my rules?
You have a feeling that he is being a little bit evasive, and your very pointed question, it seems to have somehow he's trying his best to hide it, but and he's doing well. Nobody else might have caught this, but you feel that that very pointed question that you asked, it does trigger him just a little bit, and he kind of covers it up with this kind of very dismissive way that he responds to.
I give a glance to all my Bhattacharya, to Bani, and to Professor. I can just communicate that this person is being shady here. This guy, this that. Eye to eye communication.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think if you look at Bharat is just kind of oh, I know evasiveness and bullshittery when I see it. I can't obviously this man's being dismissive in a language I'm not super familiar with, but it's still dismissive and the tone carries through. So I think Bharat is okay.
If you look at Bani, she's just trying to essentially almost scratch her back off on the
wall.
On the telescope.
On the telescope.
Cold metal.
Roll me
Jesus Christ.
I'm eventually going to get a phantom itch from this.
Extreme
It's an
success.
extreme success.
Oh my
Brilliant.
god!
On this, you roll an extreme
Yes,
success?
you don't. So you are very preoccupied with this. You are not even able to pay a lot of attention to what really is going on. So yeah, you step back, take a step back, 2 steps back, and you find something solid behind you. You start to kind of scratch yourself, and it's the cold metal of the brass that gives a bit of relief. But then you push a bit too much, and there is this. You feel that that hard thing behind you. It suddenly start to sway, And then all of you hear this loud crash as the telescope tilts and falls to the
I didn't
ground,
do it.
with Bani just standing there awkwardly.
I didn't do it. And then anyway, before this happened, when Nong looked at Bani to be like things off,
Mhm.
Bani was like,
Did he?
good question.
And just then, telescope falls to the ground. The lens, it crashes,
Oh,
and splinters scatters into this small pieces. Comerford just kind of holds his head in his hand. Billingsley looks at you, gives a sigh. That is coming out of a paycheck.
oh, that's a few years of paycheck.
The rest of your life, more like.
Yes, sir.
Right. So if that will be all, I will let you carry on. And so he doesn't really wait for a response. Also, he just kind of turns around, Comerford, looks at you, looks at the telescope and all the debris on the ground, looks at you, Bani, and says, "We'll make sure it comes out of your paycheck."
Mr.
And
Comerford,
Comerford.
Mr. Comerford,
Before you
Mr.
go.
Comerford.
Yes, the reporter.
Yeah, I think my professor also has some concerns, but since you call me by my name, I'll go first, I guess. So,
Profession, but
yes, potato.
I don't remember your name.
Neither do I, Butler. But here we are, sir. So basically, working class person to another working class person. I know you white.
His
and I know
eyes go
you
wide a little bit when you say that, and he kind of takes a step back.
Oh,
Are
snap.
you sure? Kind of a thing. But yeah, he lets you continue.
Yeah, so like I know you that there's like obviously some difference, but like a working class man to another working class man, what the hell is going on? Like, be honest, like Deceptions and all the guys, what the fuck is up with all this bullshit that is going around Miss Dottie and Lady Priscilla and all of this? Why was that? I don't want to use expletives, but our Lord.
All right. Roll me. Is there a persuasion thingy?
I think there
Charm?
is, and I put a lot of numbers into it.
Yeah, depends on what your approach you're taking, really. So,
As
some kind of a persuasion check.
as this is
I
happening, I would just like to point out that while nobody's attention is on, the Bani is like sinking to the floor to the telescope to continue scratching.
On the ground.
Yes. Please continue. I'm sorry.
I don't know. Does fast talk count here?
Fast talk. Sorry, fast talk is more akin to deception. I think charm would be it depends.
Okay, take it. No worries,
Charm would be
because
more
I had a very good
realistic.
fast talk, and charm is horrible. But I'll roll.
So
Oh my
charming
God.
with the from
If you-
from working man to
It's a
working man.
persuade as well, if you prefer persuade.
Is there a persuade? I can't seem to find it. There's a
It's
persuade.
yes.
there's a persuade.
Above
Okay, I'll
psychology, psychoanalysis.
On the third row.
Okay, lovely.
There is a
I'll try
persuade.
it. It's a 10. It's a 10. I'll try it. Okay. Oh my God! I shit you not. I can show you a screenshot. It's 8. I've rolled an 8
On a 10.
I-
Okay.
on
That's
a 10.
good.
On a 10.
That's good.
Hell
Yeah.
yes.
So, Comerford, it seems that your words do affect him a little bit. Not the you and me are not so different part, but just when you ask about what's going on with the household and all that, he sighs and he says, I have been working for the Billingsleys most of my life. My father worked for his father. And to tell you the truth, it seems like there is a curse upon this family. bad things keep happening to them, and although in my eyes at least, they have done nothing wrong. Madam Priscilla, she took ill right after Mabel was born, and she hardly leaves her room. And well, with today's news, she has gone almost catatonic. Miss Dottie, I remember when she was a child. I was just a little bit older than her. I was a child as well, and she seemed like such a bright child. But then something happened. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know. I was not here. But it seemed like she just, her mind was lost. She started, like, she stopped learning things. She couldn't remember things, and she just stopped. I don't know. She became different. We did marry her off to another nobleman somewhere, some another Englishman. Don't even remember his name. But well, her brother neglected to mention her condition when she was married off. And well, once her new husband found out, he did not take too kindly to it. They had a boy, but then they returned both her and the boy to this household, and she has been living here ever since. Even the boy Edwin, he's also strange. He doesn't talk to anybody. He's always buried in his books. And I'm afraid Mabel also grew up in a similar way. I just don't know. All of these family members, they seem to be going through these things for no fault of their own. I don't know how any of these are connected. I doubt that they are connected. But well, now Mabel has disappeared, and I just hope you all can do your job and find her. I think I spoke too much. I forget I said anything. All right, I'll be on my way. And he's starting to leave again, unless if you want to stop it.
I would just like to say that when he says that the family's cursed, that Bani's eyes go even wider in his life. Also, just a point of clarification, dear keeper. On an extreme success, one of the very few that Bani has had, she manages to crash the telescope.
But
What?
No, I mean, if you wanted to add something to it, you can. If not, it's fine.
The telescope crashes.
The telescope crashes, unfortunately, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So that's about it. Yeah. That's what happens.
Okay, just clarifying.
As you were. The telescope back up.
The one good role that you made is going to haunt you for the rest of your working life. But yeah, come on for
the chat.
Listen, there's a reward for this, and we can pull it in and buy him a new telescope with that, and then you don't need to get it out of his.
First of all, who are we buying this telescope for? This one is not there. What salary they're going to dock from me when this child is also disappeared? You tell me. Stupid cover.
That is true. You're not probably going to have a job without a child.
I've got bigger problems than that come for.
Okay, understood. Speaking of which, by the way, you've not been here that long. Has Miss Dottie always been this fragile with you around? Were there any moments of clarity that she had?
Oh, let me think.
Mm-hmm. No, the time that you have been here, which is just like 8 years, because Mabel is 8 years old, like near thereabouts, you have always found Dottie to be in the same way.
Yeah. So I mentioned as long as I've been here, she's been like this. I've never seen her not like this.
I mean, I am a man of science and I don't quite believe in curses this strongly. Listen, there could be things which affect the human psyche and we just call them curses. It might just be a scientific phenomenon. The point being, from whatever Comerford said, it sounds very odd that this family keeps being struck by these bouts of unnatural behavior, we want to call it that. Honestly, I don't feel that there's anything unnatural about studying. Okay, because, if you want to get far in your field, you have to put in the hours. Edwin was a very bright child. And I thought he would go really far, but I'm very disappointed to see this entire situation.
But I mean, sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm saying he went so far that anything he's written, we read and we start so
that's
far.
quite fun.
And
Well,
one second,
I mean,
because this one, you will lose your job 1 and you will lose your job 2 before they came and went. I was going to show you that notebook. Wait, hey, I can't. You pick it up, please, and see it yourself.
thanks. Sure. I will pick up the notebook in
We're just passing the
complete
cursor.
innocence.
Completely
Roll
innocent.
well.
We're
And you're
putting
going
hot
through this as
potato
well?
with the curse book.
Hot potato.
Not my
I mean,
circus, I'm monkeys.
You're
It
going
is your circus. It is your monkey.
as a
We're working together. Hello.
Oh yeah, that's true. Sorry.
Anyways,
No,
in my
I-
innocence and scientific curiosity, I will pick up the book.
You will go through the book. Nongkun, you were saying something.
I don't want to derail their agency, but Nongkur will try to attempt to stop Bhattacharya from reading it. I'll be like, I mean, please feel free to peruse the book. But last time I went through one of this madman's ramblings. I didn't take him so much kindly, so I advise you to proceed with caution. As we see, Bani's there scratching her back off. I'd advise you to
Truly, what has bitten you? There wasn't a single bite mark.
Of course, I mean the thing's crawling. You can't see them or what? This one, who has the youngest eyes? Somebody tell me, please look.
Wow. Another slight
Who has-
against the professor.
Nong Khun has the youngest eyes, I believe, canonically.
Why am I getting
Out of-
roasted like this?
out of character. I'm so sorry. I did not mean it like that. But yeah, I was just like, somebody please confirm that there are things crawling. Please,
Can
youngest eyes.
I can Bharat attempt some sort of like not exactly first aid, but the closest thing to first aid. Maybe he can use his bandana to wrap around her neck or something, so that she doesn't basically claw through her skin throughout this whole experience. Because he's realizing that this sensation is making her more frantic, and it's
Yeah.
That's
Not
something I
great.
can attempt.
No, so you can. You don't really need a check for that. If you want to
Okay.
tie a bandana around the neck, you can.
Bharat will do that and say, like, try not to scratch it. When you scratch it, make it worse. No. You yourself may tell me. Why are you looking at me like that?
Use this jug of water and keep it cold. It'll help.
Yeah, Bani is trying hard to come up with an argument against if you scratch it, you'll make it worse, having said that many times herself. And like holds the jug over the bandana.
That's not what I meant, but okay.
But yeah, I mean, we don't need no education. Anyway, actually, that's not true. Bani has a decent education. But as with the temporary relief that this has provided, Bani mentions that so when just before this something bit me. I read in this Edwin Baba's book that something is the entity is going to rise a year from now, and like as towards the end of the book, towards the end of the diary, it's all such horrible handwriting. This is not any handwriting that any teacher would approve of. Really. Actually, good. This Nong, you stopped Dr. Professor Uncle from seeing this handwriting. If you see your students with this handwriting,
Is he stopping though?
Oh.
Is he stopping though? Question.
I mean, I was going to stop,
Okay.
but yeah, I guess. I'm a little tempted. I'm not gonna lie. I was just like, you know how like you flip the animorph books at
Right.
the end so that it changes from human to animal. Can I just do that? Like,
A very brief perusal.
okay. I'm not perusing anything. I'm just like
Acha.
flip booking it. Like,
You're flip booking it, so yeah. So you, as you kind of twirled pages, like let them fall. You make out some writings inside, but it's not enough to kind of give you any sort of sense of what it means.
yeah, looks like a normal book to me. But you've already read it, Bani. You can just tell us what is in it. And we don't really have the time to do all this. We're supposed to be looking for a little more.
So Bani basically just says what I related. This is what was in the book, and then kind of says that I think it's this house has something that keeps biting me. Let's leave.
All right.
Sorry, 1 second. What time of day is it?
It's getting to noon now.
Okay, so it's not dark outside. So Bani would be like, let's go.
You can leave if you like. I mean, are there any other rooms that Mabel used to frequent?
No. Let's go.
I feel like you're being not truthful, but clearly you are in distress.
Yeah, basically, I mean, like Bani's okay. So Bani is in distress and really wants to get out of the house, but just to check, are there any other rooms that Mabel used to go to?
Not really. Have like more or less covered places where you could actually find things.
Okay.
More, that is what you would assume.
Yeah. So I would say that we can like do a quick. I say we, those of us who are not in agony, can go and like do a quick this one of the house, but and then please let's leave, please.
Okay. Let's tell you what, you and Bharat leave the house for the moment. Nongkun and I will just do a really quick look in the other rooms. Nongkun's really good at finding out things. We'll just really quick have a look in the other rooms, see if we can find anything. And if not, we'll meet you out in 10.
What a great idea. Bharat, come.
And yeah, Bharat will nod and say like, maybe we should pay a visit to the village after this, and we'll look at Nongkun.
And I was like, yeah, don't leave without. I give him like, don't leave without me.
Wait, do you know each other from before?
No, we've just established rapport.
That was fast. I mean, I'm not saying I feel
You
like
speak my language. That's all you needed. No pretentiousness. Perfect.
As we pass, and like in her agitated state, but still in the local language, Bani would say to Nongkun that don't let the professor lick anything else in the book.
No more licking.
No more.
Yeah.
I mean, you did it.
It's true. What? It's a decision you made with full sanity.
Once.
Right. So, Nongkun and Professor, you you decide to quickly look through the rest of the house, while Bharat and Bani, you just basically move out to take a breather. So not much else to the house really. Through this door, you guys can see that it leads to the kitchen, which seems quite well appointed, organized. There are two people who are like working there. Normally you'd find more people there, but at this point there are just two. This over here, it's like an outdoor dining area with like very nice views of the estate and everything. This of course was Edwin's room. You have been to. This is Dhara's room. Dottie's room. Do you want to go in there?
Briefly.
Okay.
If it's open.
The door is like the cracked, partially open, so you can peek in and you see this kind of. It's filled to the brim, really. Like where you have to push the door a little bit, because behind the door also there is like some stuff, and you can see that it's filled to the brim with all kinds of objects. None of them seemingly valuable. It's just it's like a hoarder's paradise, more or less. And you see that Dhara is there. She does not notice you all there, but you can see that she is like sitting next to the window and just looking out.
Is there any pattern to the objects that Dottie is collecting?
I don't know. What check would that be? To discern pattern of things.
Spot hidden?
Yeah. Just roll a spot hidden.
I would like to have a conversation with the doctor at some point whenever there is an opportunity.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm making that. That's an 89.
No,
I don't think.
so you don't really notice any sense of like it's pure chaos basically. It almost hurts your mathematical brain, scientific brain, looking at all that.
Fascinating. It's like a Fibonacci style, but just keeps going.
So as you make your way away from there, Nong Khun, you wanted to speak with the professor?
Yes. Matter.
Sorry, I couldn't catch Rajib.
Right. So you said you wanted to talk to the professor.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
As you move up, yeah.
So I sort of talked to the professor, and I'm like, I'm sorry about like intruding on, stopping you, a man of in the pursuit of knowledge from accessing knowledge.
No, that's fine. It's not my field anyways. Astronomy, really. It's for hobbyists.
Hardly a science.
Okay. Hardly a science. I mean, I don't know if I should agree to you to that. I'm trying to go to the university to a bit on the wrong end of the money spectrum of the money. But I had a question for you. Since you're so, I think you'll have a more deeper understanding of the things that maybe. So I found these two books, and like I I collected these two books from Edwin's room. One book is about the reason that I was trying to stop you from reading that book, because I want you to read this book, which caused me a terrible headache. And I'd like your eyes to go through this book. It's written in this obtuse form of English, and I didn't like read enough. I mean, I haven't got that much education to read it properly, so I think
sure you do. Maybe it's just your glasses power or something.
Yeah. Maybe young eyes. Maybe they need to be mature, as Bani would say. But if you could you go through this book? And I hand him the book with the monster book basically, and I'm like,
Monsters
it seems
and
like
their
it's just describing some kind of occult rituals and things. I mean, I don't want to put you into any danger, but if you are curious enough.
Oh, I'm very curious. This looks fascinating, and not exactly my area of study, but somewhat adjacent. Zoology and biology aren't as far apart as you'd think. Certainly, let's have a look through it. Is there any, in the meanwhile, are there any other rooms you want to look through?
So as you are like quickly striding across the hallway, the next room is the library, which is kind of stacked floor to ceiling with like lots of books. And at a glance, professor, you can see that they're in variety of topics, not only academic. There are a lot of fiction, a lot of literature, a lot of poetry. So but it appears to you, just looking at them, that it doesn't really see a lot of use. It's for all intents and purposes, this seems more like a decorative
How?
place rather than
Is
more
there any
like,
smut
rather
in
than
it?
fully functional. Spot hidden?
The mills and
Wow.
bones. Nice.
No, in fact, roll luck.
Luck.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
no,
good.
Not like
I'll show you
this.
what I roll. I'll show you what
Okay.
I roll. I rolled 100 on my spot hidden. I rolled.
100 is the worst possible roll.
I know, so I'm just
Yeah. So no,
So
you are looking for things, but you don't find.
It was
Not sure.
definitely in the secret hidden panel.
This
But how
section is-
unfortunate. They have an entire library and nobody reads here. Elitist.
Right. So yeah, it was more decorative. Then the two rooms next to it, they seem to be like guest rooms. They're just some like furniture within it, but nothing much else of interest. And you have been told that this. So yeah, those are these rooms covered. The rooms here opposite, they are again sitting rooms, like drawing rooms. It seems almost like a place to hold meetings and meet with like dignitaries and of that sort. Again, nothing much else of interest at a glance. This room over here, you have been told that that is where Priscilla, Madam Priscilla is, the lady of the house. But you have been told that she is not well. So would you like to go there?
I feel a little bad intruding upon her. I mean, she seems of sound mind, except she's quite weak, I believe. So I don't think we should. Do you want to take the chance, Nong?
I think it's not. I mean, I don't think we're gonna get any information. Seems. I don't think
She
it's the
is
right
her
thing.
mother, though.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't know. Maybe two strange men going into her room and asking her about her daughter might not be the best way to handle the situation.
Yeah, I suppose we should need Bani for it. Might be easier to just ease it in. Like, you know, take it slowly. Don't want to shock her or anything.
Maybe on our way
Alright,
back from
we
the
come back
village.
Right.
All right, so you finish your brief sojourn of the rest of the rooms. You come out to find Bani and Bharat. What have you been up to during this time?
Apparently, we're waiting for Bharat's new bestie.
Yeah, Bharat is the entire time kind of just like observing the activity in the he's trying to get as much information from this house, even though he's standing here keeping Bani company, so he can do process of elimination. Because currently, as Dongkun has already highlighted, the conclusions we're drawing are not great, especially if they involve like connections to the village. And as much as he'd like getting rewarded, an arrow pointed in that direction does not help us long term. So he's trying to eliminate all the potential suspects here. So he's like observing everyone in the house, is like walking around, servants, guards.
I'm just
How they're
imagining
behaving.
like, Bharat going to the wall of the house and doing that thing, you know, they do in like whatever it's called, numbers or whatever, and they're like scribbling on the wall, being like,
No role necessary. That's just how
Right,
he's
right.
we don't have to make it a cat, but that's just where his
What-
mind is at.
He has been up to. Yeah, so preoccupied with all that. So by this time, you see Professor and Nongkun appear through the main door, and you are all reunited. You want to make your way to the village at this point? All right.
I think that's the next step. Let's eliminate some potential areas where people might have been taken, or these other connections that Edwin has.
So right, you have some connections to Edwin in the village. You also, I mean, at least some of you know of other children who have disappeared from the village as well. So you make your way to the village. By this time, the sun is at the other end of the middle of the sky. So it is like it starts to become afternoon. You make your way down this hillock on which the bungalow is placed, and after a while you get to that central T junction, and then you carry on towards the village. The path, it quickly turns into this muddy, rutted ditch in between tea plantations. So before you had like nicely paved roads leading up to the bungalow, but now it's just a muddy ditch. As you see people working in the tea plantations, like both sides of this muddy road, there are tea plantations that just stretches all the way to the horizon, and you see people working, mostly women, who are picking fresh leaves from the tea bushes. So all these tea bushes, they come up to waist height. So these women, they have these large bamboo baskets behind their backs, and so they are picking individually the sapling, leaves, basically leaves, like, so it would be like 2 or 3 leaves in a bunch that are growing on top, the more lighter green color, the leaves that are lower down that are darker green, and they're not really useful for making tea. So they're like picking the fresh twigs from the bushes and putting on these baskets as they move through this the bushes in a very methodical way. And this scent of fresh tea leaves, that it's almost like intoxicating as it like wafts through the air. And you saw them moving almost in this methodical way, but for a moment it seems a little too methodical. I would like you, if you are paying attention, any attention to the workers, I'd like you to make a spot hidden roll or a psychology, actually, either of the two, if you are paying attention. If not, then you're fine.
So is Bani like, does the itching sensation?
Yeah. So as you exit the house, and it might be just the fresher air, it might be the distance from the bungalow, you don't really know what is causing, but the itching sensation, it subsides. It is still there, just a little bit, but it is not as strong. You don't have to like scratch your skin off.
Oh my God, Bani is allergic to colonialism.
I will do a spot hidden.
So I wanted to know if I would spot hidden.
Yeah, spot hidden or psychology.
That is 38 for my 50 spot hidden.
That is a success.
Yeah. Oh, Bani! Finally,
Oh
the
my
curse is
God.
broken.
Finally.
2 and 2 consecutive.
Yeah, high five.
So, as you are like making your way to the village, some of you are well aware of where this village is, where this coolie line is located. So you are like casually looking at the things, the activities that are going on, and you see all these workers. So close to you, there is this bunch of like 12 or 13 of these women who are doing this picking of the tea leaves and all that. You would ignore it because it's not an uncommon sight for either of you, Bharat and Bani. But then something catches your eye. You see them moving in this formation, and it's like it's a bit too much in sync. They are picking these leaves and putting them on their back in like perfect unison. All of them are like making that exact same movement, and they are doing it like it's almost like in total harmony. It's like one person copied and pasted all over and over. But then they suddenly stop. They all turn. And again, this is like very the movement that they make. It's not human like. It's something else. So all of them turn and they look towards you directly. For Bani and Bharat, who are looking at these people, they all turn towards you, and you can see that their eyes are all black. There is no pupil, there is no iris. They're all completely black, and they are staring right at you. And with that, we are going to end this session.
Are we?
Oh my.
Okay. Listen. I need you to explain to me what extreme success means because it doesn't mean what I think it means.
You see, good things might happen, bad things
You
might happen.
you
Important
fuck
to-
around and you find out. That's what
Yeah,
extreme
that's what it is.
success
Jesus.